I find the lottery interesting because it's, first of all, you got a sure thing in Victor Wembanyama. Like he's going to be a generational talent, or at least we think he's going to be. How many times have we had this, though? When you think of generational talents, obviously LeBron, generational talent. And this is when you're going in, the hype going in, LeBron was going to change your franchise. And he did. He changed basketball. Zion, but he wasn't a sure thing. He was battling weight, and he had a knee injury. And we wondered, he's undersized, and he was going to go in the NBA and change things. He hasn't yet. Who else would be on that list where you go, that guy can't? No, I'm talking the last 20 years. Last 20 years. Yeah, Paulie.
I looked up Ben Simmons because he was really, really hot going into that draft. There was nobody to question who was the number one pick. It was 95% positive about Ben Simmons. But I found a few articles that questioned some character questions, some effort questions, and definitely some shot questions, shooting ability questions, but not a lot of them.
I questioned all of them because he couldn't get his team in the tournament, and I watched him play, and I go, he can't shoot, but he is 6'9", and he could run the floor, and I thought, okay, can he develop a shot? I thought that he was left-handed. Like, I thought that he should be trying to shoot left-handed because he couldn't shoot right-handed. And he was going to be the next Magic. Like, we're always waiting for the next Michael. We're also waiting for the next Magic. And in fairness to how great Magic was, Penny Hardaway was probably as close to Magic. And then he got injured there. But to get somebody 6'8", 6'9", running the point, and then Magic developed into a dangerous shooter. But he didn't have a jump shot when he first got into the league, but he didn't really need it. You watch Ben Simmons and you go, how do you not get your team in the tournament, first of all? Second of all, didn't anybody pull you aside and say, hey, you should learn how to shoot? And then there was the attitude, does he really love basketball, that sort of surfaced at LSU. Yes, Eden.
If there is any justice in this damn NFL universe,
all right,
can Portland please win the number one pick?
Okay. I had a dream last night.
Can we just get Dame a damn player and let this dude win some games? It's just a reward for being loyal. Can we please just make that happen?
I had a dream last night that Portland won the lottery.
Dude.
Yes.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's just throw it out in the universe, and let's just, what would Aaron Rodgers say? We're manifesting it. Let's manifest this. Dame deserves it. For being loyal all this time, Dame deserves it.
10.5%. 10.5% for Dame Lillard. You might have had a different dream last night, but I was dreaming of Portland winning the lottery. Todd, did you have that same dream last night?
Exact same dream.
Yeah. Yes, Marv.
Next year, if the Lakers win the NBA title, Trailblazers at Lakers opening night.
Let's go.
Ooh.
Wembanyama, Lillard.
Well, no. Let's wait. We're not.
I'm manifesting. We're going into a dark place, and we're manifesting.
Why are we in a dark place?
Because Aaron Rodgers was in a dark place, and he manifested.
Yeah, but I don't want to be Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, but we're just trying to manifest this for Dame, on behalf of Dame.
We want to make this happen.
Yeah.
All right. How about just some positive thoughts?
Yeah, that's all positive energy.
I don't have to go into a dark place.
Yeah, no, not like metaphorically. Like, he literally went into a dark room for 4 days.
Who wants ayahuasca? Raise their hand.
I'm in.
Shot.
I'm in. A little carrot cake and ayahuasca. Let's get weird.
Breakfast is served.
You know what? Let me get Shay and Irving in here, and I think we got a party going. Yeah?
He's bringing other stuff, too.
When's it too early to have ayahuasca? We had carrot cake at 8 in the morning, ayahuasca at 9:30.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Got to check with the roommate, Danny.
Any other sure things where you went into the draft and you go, that guy's going to be great? Yeah, Marv.
What about Anthony Davis coming out? And Charlotte was like 1-81, and they still didn't get the number one pick, and they had to settle for Michael Kidd-Gilchrist.
Another guy who couldn't shoot.
At all.
Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. I don't know about you, but when you go into the NBA, I figure you better be able to shoot a little bit because it is a shooter's league. Everybody is shooting. Everybody thinks they can shoot, and he couldn't shoot. But I think his first game, didn't he have a triple-double? I think his first NBA game, he had a triple-double. I go, all right, kid. Yes, Eaton.
We have a listener, David, here through a Greg Oden. He was he was a pretty hot thing coming out of college.
Yeah.
Then the conversation was just him and Kevin Durant,
Yeah, no.
one or the other.
Yeah.
And Kevin Durant was just too thin.
Yes.
He's too scrawny.
Yeah.
Never going to make it at the next level.
Also, people love that Greg Oden, didn't he break his wrist?
Shot with his left hand.
But
Yeah.
I like that.
That's a guy who
That's
can
the way
adapt.
we do it.
Yeah.
He could have played in the 60s. That's the way we did it. Just put some tape on it, rub some dirt on it. Yes, Paulie.
I know I'm splitting hairs here, but I think there's a difference between surefire number 1 pick and generational talent where a town celebrates the draft. And like Patrick Ewing was that guy.
Patrick Ewing.
I think Shaq was that guy when he came into the league. Iverson was close. I mean, the buzz and the ability of him when Philadelphia got him, it was a celebration. And then I would say Yao Ming in Houston, LeBron in Cleveland, and then maybe, like we said, Ben Simmons was very hot, but not as hot as Victor Wembanyama coming in the draft. I've heard no criticisms of this guy. Zero.
Yeah. And he's been playing with grown-ups. That's why when Luka came in, Luka had been playing against grown-ups since he was 15, professionally. And Wembanyama, who is, 18, 19 now, he's been playing against grown-ups. I don't know if the competition is at the level that it was for Luka, who he was playing against. Probably not. But Wembanyama has touch, has handle, runs the floor. His mom was a basketball player. His mom's dad was a basketball player. I think his father was a track athlete. So it's in his genes. And then you have, Giannis is talking. There's a lot of NBA players co-signing on this, saying, this guy is going to be something special. Yes, Marv.
It's probably the last thing since LeBron, because NBA players were talking about him junior year, senior year in high school, and it feels like the same thing with Wembanyama.
We'll work on that. It took us a while to get Giannis's name. I think we first thought it was Giannis, but we learned how to pronounce that. Like, he became so good, we had to learn how to pronounce it.
I made an all-star team.
Yeah, okay, now
This guy.
Yeah, just a Greek freak. Reminiscing about the last sure thing when it comes to the NBA draft lottery. I think Zion was universally loved. There were flaws in his game, but I think it was more of that he was famous. He was marketable. Social media. And when you're thinking about the players who have benefited from social media, Zion is up there as one of the first. LeBron had very little criticism. He was a pass-first guy. People did wonder about the range on his jump shot, that he didn't have a good look. He still doesn't have a good-looking jump shot, but he was a man amongst boys. I'm trying to think who else kind of fits into that category where you go, man, I don't have many questions. And Victor Wembanyama is one of those players, it feels like. Tim Duncan was there. He spent 4 years in college. And back then, it wasn't a negative to spend 4 years in college. Now, if you do that, it's like, what's wrong with him? But Tim Duncan had all the elements. I mean, when your nickname is the big fundamental, doesn't really bring excitement, but he has, one of the 10 best careers in NBA history. Maybe that'd be a nice landing spot for Victor Wembanyama. Now, I don't know his personality. Does he want to go big market? Does he care? He doesn't have a choice. But do you want to go to Detroit? Do you want to go to Houston? Charlotte? Where does the NBA want him to go? If I was going to place him, let's see, where would I place him? Detroit, Houston, San Antonio, Charlotte, Portland, Orlando, Indiana, Washington, Utah. I was going to place him. Maybe the Dallas Mavericks. That you put him with Luka. Could we find out that we have the 5 best players in basketball are not from the United States? If Victor Wembanyama is that kind of generational talent, so you have Jokic, you have Giannis, you have Embiid, you have Luka, Victor Wembanyama. Is there anybody in that category now? LeBron can be, but LeBron is not maybe a top 5, top 4 talent now. But, think about that. These players, how they're brought up. And they're also brought, Tatum is in that conversation, I would think. But they're brought up differently in how they play. Because if you're a big guy, you're taught how to handle. You're taught how to. You're not treated as a big guy, the traditional big guy. Now that's changed. That's changed in the NBA because now you have these bigger players who would be big men. They all want to handle the ball. They want to shoot. So they're working on those skills earlier, and that's what happens with a lot of these players who are born outside the United States. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's from Canada. Canada's had a nice influx, and it feels like, do you go back to, Vince Carter in Toronto or Damon Stoudemire? I don't think, the Vancouver Grizzlies would have factored in. Steve Nash, I don't know if there was any trickle down with that. Yes, Marv?
I think you had it right when you said Vince Carter.
Yeah.
I think that's Vince Carter, period.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a documentary called The Carter Effect on Vince Carter's influence on basketball in Canada.
Okay.
Like it's Vince Carter.
Yeah. All right.
Back to you.
All right. Thank you. All right. 877-3DP show, email address dp@danpatrick.com. Go through the last number one picks overall. Can we go through those just to see if anybody else stands out? Yes, Marv.
All right, we got Paolo Ben
Caro.
Cade Cunningham.
Those are good players. They're not generational players.
Before that, Anthony Edwards in 2020. Zion, DeAndre Ayton, Markelle Fultz, Ben Simmons, Karl Anthony Towns.
All good players, not all good players, but nobody's a generational talent there. Anybody else in there?
Ben Simmons, Karl Anthony Towns, Andrew Wiggins, Anthony Bennett.
No.
Anthony Davis, Kyrie.
I had concerns about Davis. He didn't score in the national title game, but do you remember when I came in and I said, this guy, maybe it was his rookie year, and I said, he's going to be the rookie of the year. I forget when it was. It was early, but I watched him, and then I watched him one more night, and I go, oh, my God. It's almost like Patrick Ewing came into the NBA. And we didn't know that he could shoot like that because he was not it felt like John Thompson wanted him to be the traditional big man. So he wasn't pushed to the perimeter where he was going to take those jump shots. He gets into the NBA, and he was more of an offensive weapon than defensive weapon. But I remember Anthony Davis, and I remember talking to Chris Mannix about it, and I go, this guy's unstoppable. He's going to be great. But I didn't see that when he was at Kentucky. I mean, you'd see glimpses, and sometimes you don't stand out because everybody stands out at Kentucky. But I think he was, 0 for 10 in the national title game, and I thought, okay, he can play defense. I don't know how good he is offensively. But I always love to watch a big man shoot free throws, as weird as that sounds, because then you're going to show me your form and your touch. And you see Anthony Davis, great form. Joel Embiid. Like having a big man who can shoot free throws, having nice touch, that's something that stands out. Yes, Paul?
I really think you have to go back to 03 and 02, LeBron James and Yao Ming, where they themselves dwarfed the rest of the draft, where it was who got them, and then it's an afterthought. That's what tonight feels like with the draft lottery. No one in the country can name, who doesn't know sports really well, who's going to be 2, 3, and 4. Yao Ming had a year of coverage to himself. LeBron James had a year and a half. Where it's like, and Victor Wembanyama we've been talking about on this show for over a year.
Well, I think Scoot is pretty good. Scoot Henderson, right? He's been playing in the G League, and he is considered, and he might be an Anthony Edwards type player, talent, and he's going to play right away. But when it's almost like you have that guy and you go, God, he can do all of those things, and it's a big guy where you go, gosh, did you see he can go inside, outside, handle, pass, all of those things. And Wembanyama appears to be that kind of talent there. Who else? Pelicans, they got 0.5%. Toronto's got 1%. Oklahoma City, 1.7%. I guess if I was going to place him, I'd place him in Dallas because of the star power that you would have there and the possibility, and that would be fun. Portland, you keep Dame in town, he'd certainly be like, okay, all right. Or do they go, yeah, we got Victor Wembanyama, we're going to trade Dame and we're going to build around Victor Wembanyama. I mean, that's not crazy to think that way because Victor Wembanyama might be a couple of years away and Dame is 32, but I just don't see Dame finishing his career in Portland. Yeah, Paul.
I'm going to throw out the Orlando Magic. That's kind of somewhat of an international city, a lot of tourism, a lot of travelers. If you played in Orlando, they got Banchero. They've had some good draft picks over the past couple of years that could support him. I would say that Orlando would be the place I would place him for the most exposure.
Yeah, but I don't know if...
When Shaq and Penny were there, they were cool.
Yeah.
And now you need to win first to be cool.
Yeah.
But you go Banchero, all the other guys that they drafted in the past couple of years, I think you got something. And they're international city because of the tourism.
Yeah. But, I mean, you got Suggs and Wagner. Okay.
International.
Yeah. Yes, Eaton.
Orlando seems to be the place, though, where good draft picks go to waste the first 4 years of their career and then eventually get traded or leave to a good team.
That's actually the full name of the franchise.
I think the Orlando Magic, where you go to waste the first 4 years of your career.
Essentially,
Magic.
where it's like, okay, finally somebody else is going to pick me up.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Well, Shaq, Dwight Howard.
I mean, essentially everybody.
Tracy McGrady. Yeah.